Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. This evening, we delve into the world of Saint Flourish Ne Corosh, a haunting and thought-provoking story by the Portuguese playwright Orlando da Costa. Set on the night of a monumental historical shift, the end of Portuguese rule and the liberation of Goa in 1961, this story takes place in the home of a grieving family. Saluzinho, a Bakar, is mourning the death of his elder sister Leopoldina, who is also Bostu's adoptive mother. But her passing is only the beginning of a deeper unraveling. Leopoldine, before her death, gives Salu a gift, the land she once owned. It is fertile, rich in ore, yet carries with it a curse. While she leaves Salu her land, she also leaves him with a conundrum, a self-imposed fertility that haunts him throughout his life. Through their grief, secrets are revealed, and the lines between personal tragedy and the larger political transformation of Goa blur. As we journey through an abridged version, an English version of this play titled No Flowers, No Wreaths, let us reflect on the ties between family, legacy, and the weight of history. What is the price of land, of loyalty, and of silence? And how do the past and present intertwine, shaping the choices and fates of those caught in their wake? We invite you to explore these questions with us as we begin this powerful story.
Goa University and the Mustard Seed Art Company present No Flowers, No Wreaths by Orlando da Costa.
Scene 1.
It is 7 days today that she died. It seems like yesterday. So sad about Mana Leopoldina. 7 days and he hasn't come yet.
Not his fault, surely.
But she wanted it so much. For the love of her Bostu, she could have forgotten to go to heaven so as not to lose the right to see him before she died.
Don't blast him. You're tired, Angelica. Go and rest. Go, you need to rest.
It's not fatigue. It's remembrance. Strange, this remembrance. You know how reserved and distant our regard for each other was? It is going to be 30 years that I came to this house. A typical timid bride. Mana Leopoldina looked at me with motherly sympathy. I was a loggia girl, and she would smile with a sort of kindness, the petulant smile of the family.
Enough!
Also capable of filling herself with greatness and genuine kindness.
It's enough, I said. Matilda, keep your mother company.
Father is worried. I've never seen him so preoccupied with what is happening.
Don't I know, Mother? I'm no child.
That's true, Mother. longer. You're a woman, a beautiful woman. And someday soon, someone will ask for your hand in marriage. And I will lose you again, my girl.
Lose me? Again? I don't understand, Mother.
It's true, Matu. For 10 years, for the first 10 years of my life, I was lost to you. I longed for you, but did not have you. Oh, Saiba, how I suffered. I saw myself forever one of those mangoes that the sun grosses every year. But our hands instinctively cast them away to be thrown to the pigs.
Oh, Mother, how can you say a thing like that? How could you ever think like that?
It's true, Mother. I was at the extreme end of my faith. Yes, that was when you were heralded to me. Did you see? Father's afraid. It's fear, my girl, fear.
Fear.
Mother, aren't you afraid? Yes, I am. Mainly for father, it is true. If at least Mana Leopoldina were alive, she would have been what she was always to him, the elder sister. She would say time and again, when one wears a skin that is not ours, as if that said it all.
When one wears a skin that is not ours. When one wears a skin that is not ours. When one wears a skin that is not ours. When one wears a skin that is not ours.
Ever since she has died, ever since she was buried, every time I think of her, I can feel those eyes of her resting on me, as they did that first time. A look of strange pity and humiliating kindness.
Mother, did you hate her?
I came to detest her. Yes, and how? When the eyes of all the relatives, maids, moon cars, after those long months, were all directed at my still adolescent womb, those eyes and that smile of hers seemed like the bitter irony of an old maid consoling me for being sterile. She would laugh with strange bitterness. I never understood her suffering. This was how I looked at myself in the big mirror in the bedroom, in moonlight or in confusing darkness. Quite naked, sweaty, my hair all loose. When they brought Bostu home, it was exactly 12 months that I was married.
And how old was he?
He wasn't a year and a half old yet. The child brought me hope in the midst of despair of so many years.
Every year, the coconuts from plantations were harvested, and Leopoldina Bai supervised the storing of rice in the barns. Her face was aging, and a sudden generosity began to dawn in her eyes and gesture.
Bostu had grown and strangely was coming to look like us, like this household. The well never dried again in the month of May, and the water turned more fresh and pleasant in the water cooler. On her rocking chair, Mana Leopoldina would smile, with a fan in hand, still distant. It was I who couldn't get close anymore. When I told her in a voice full of emotions, that you were going to be born. She went and bought me 10 necklaces of mogreen buds, which she placed on my neck one by one.
I already knew, Angelica. These are 10. One for each year of waiting. Waiting is tiring and delicious torment. I knew what it meant until Bostu came here. To stop hoping. To stop hoping, Angelica, is to begin to die.
To wait? Is it tiring and delicious torment? And she died waiting for him to arrive. If it were not the confusion that reign in this land, Mother, he would have come, I'm sure of it. I just never understood whether she was afraid or not. That you might be a boy.
Leopoldina always loved our daughter, even before you gave birth. Do you hear?
No one said otherwise.
Matu is the daughter of this house, blood of our blood. He is a postco whom we raised like a real adopted son.
A real adopted son. Yes, a son we adopted. Bostu never was a postco.
Excuse me?
Yes, he is a child of this house. It was only he who helped me to wait, to retain in the depths of my being this secret hope of our having a child. A child that would be blood of our blood, as you said.
Matu is the blood of our blood, the last we had.
Wherever he may have been born, Bostu was born to be in this house.
Absent from home, he had moved away from us.
He is a child of this house. We and he are the children of this land.
The doors of this house were never closed to him. But it seems at this time, the doors of this land are shut to him.
Poor Bostu. Bostu will always be present in this house. He will always be among us. Let's go.
Scene 2.
The air is stifling, as if clogged with gunpowder. Gunpowder, yes, gunpowder. And you know how I can't bear all that. Gunpowder, gunfire, fireworks, can't bear any of it.
But, Sarojini, where do you smell gunpowder?
Madhu, please pour me some water. My throat is dry. How many are left?
Left? That was the last. I thought you knew. I told you.
The last? Does that mean from tomorrow I will be denied of my cigarettes? And that damn frontier is closed.
Why don't you try smoking a weenie, Father, as a way out? Besides, I've always heard Tia Leopoldina say that Pio Franz Xavier never smoked anything but weenies. And he was such an elegant man, well dressed, must have had great manners too, as one can see from the portraits.
Oh, good man, but old-fashioned. He would not have been able to accompany the evolution our land has undergone. And he saw it. The land was to be measured in kumbhos of rice and baskets of coconuts. He knew no other measure. It was necessary to have a new way of thinking in order to admit, to take the risk, to see that within the subsoil of our most arid, stony and remote estates, which yielded next to nothing for a century and a half, there existed mineral ore. I was the first one in the family to disembowel with these very hands the false boulders which rested on our status as mere badkars.
Were it not for the rifle cart, son, I bet you would never get to explore.
What did he know about mines? Were it not for him, forget it! I was the one who took significant interest, an interest in our progress and that of our land. I had that vision. Today I have other duties, new perspectives, new spheres of influence.
You were to revive the family, the resources I need. But that is not what I condemn. That is never what scared me. It was the interference, the detours, the sponsorships, the other duties you spoke of, the new relationships, high state capitals, requests, patronage, the state cabinet.
There are some things you should not speak of.
Sorry, Sarojini, but we've seen you so worried lately, so worked up. Your comings and goings to pageant, your sleepless nights, your silence on some days, at certain times. All this speaks louder than you can imagine.
You know nothing. Nothing. Good grief. Smells of gunpowder. I would like to know who will defend us.
Do you really think we're going to be attacked?
This time things have gone too far.
All we wanted was peace and harmony.
Progress.
An encounter with ourselves. An ancient bygone peacefulness.
Autonomy. Sound of the hobnailed boots on the cement of the road.
Footsteps of the one who comes or goes.
The sound of the hobnailed boots.
It's a soldier going to the war. They're going to kill, they're going to die.
They will defend us with their blood. Angelica, tomorrow at the time of first mass, we leave for Kurtorim.
What? Are we going to abandon this house?
I will come back. You will stay and you will take Rosenda. We can't. It's for Mathu's sake. We cannot let her remain in this house, exposed to everything. Will we be ransacked? Will we be respected? I don't know.
You have no trust, Sarojini Babu. No trust.
I don't know. Fine. I've taken care of everything. Pack your bags. Now I have to go out.
At this hour?
I won't be late. Fine. Pack your bags. And don't forget the jewelry. Yours, Mana Leopoldina's, and the girls. We must protect her, Angelica. We must defend her.
It's a soldier going to the war. It's night. They're going to war.
Scene 3.
These pieces of jewelry were given to me when I married your father. I was then 17 years old. Are you listening? Yes, Mother. What are you writing? I'm writing to Bostu. I'd like to know what he thinks about all of this. This necklace, these earrings, this ring and this bracelet were given to me by Mana Leopoldina on the night of the wedding. Till that moment, she had given me nothing. And when I thought she would give me nothing but that smile of hers,
memory. That cold, distant, conventional smile. She went and bought me this jewelry as if she was carrying an armful of flowers and said to me, and I remember that so well I can see her. She said, "These belong to our grandmother, then to our mother, then to me." Then she looked at father, who was standing next to me, and said, "I kept them safe without ever using them. Keep them till the next generation arrives. Perhaps it may arrive soon." And then there was all that time of waiting. A time of dryness and hope. But I thought he would never come. Come here, my girl. I want to see how this jewelry looks on you.
This looks so good on you. Looks so lovely, Matubai. Please take care of these. They are my only riches. I heard what Bab Salu said a little while ago. And
Why don't you keep them? We're leaving tomorrow morning, all of us.
I'm staying. It makes no sense for me to leave, to run away, to protect myself from whatever it may be. Wherever I go or be taken to, I will always be on my land. And on my land, who can harm me? I'm old. I was born here. I grew old here in this land. And here I will die. And here I will be buried in this dust. And only here I can be remembered. I can hear the footsteps at entrance. It must be Bab Salu who is back. I hope he brings good news. Bye. Do you know he's back? Do you know?
You have come at last. You have come after all.
Did she die? When?
It's 7 days since she died.
I tried everything to be here. 4 days and 4 nights.
4 days and 4 nights. 4 days and 4 nights. 4 days and 4 nights.
Glued to the frontier, as to a prison wall much too tall to be scaled.
Glued to the frontier, as to a prison wall, much too tall to be scaled.
I waited for the eyes and the weapons before me to be lowered. And finally, when this land received me, in the silence of a night veiled in dew, I smiled and smiled. Then I broke into tears. Poor bird. It took me another 3 days and nights to arrive at this house. I saw fearful faces, eyes filled with hatred, mocking smiles. And I calmly said, "We will not be mown down by death. Death! Yes, death! I tried everything to arrive before death, before her death did. No one could have yearned for it more."
What are you doing here? When did you arrive?
I've just arrived.
How?
Yes, he has just arrived. It was a surprise for us too.
What are you doing here? Wearing that necklace? When you know you have to wake up early tomorrow.
Mother was packing the jewelry. That's when those two arrived all of a sudden.
The necklace looks lovely on you, Matu. You've grown up so much and you look so
It's late. Say your goodbye now. And be prepared to leave at sunrise.
Leave? Where are you going? Where are you taking her?
I'm taking her to safety. It can be quite worse. Or don't you think so?
Do you think the soldiers are going to offer resistance?
They will defend one and all, fight to the very last man in army uniform.
But that is madness.
Those are the orders.
A murderous madness! Until the last man in army uniform falls, how many men not in uniform will fall dead or wounded in the mud of this land, uncle? All that for nothing? Have you thought of that?
We must be ready to sacrifice our life for the sake of those who expose their lives to defend us.
But uncle, we are not the ones who are going to be attacked. This land is going to be simply
Devastated.
devastated.
Yes, devastated. Those are the orders.
If this land is going to be devastated, what's the point in providing for your daughter's safety? What's the sense in taking all this jewelry and running away?
I forbid you to speak, to remain in this house.
But you?
I forbid you to keep calling me uncle.
Celestino, please lower your voice. Don't scream. That is very scared.
If I'm here, in this house, it is on account of your sister. I'm sorry, dear Angelica. I know you love me, and I love you very much too. But if I'm here, if I've arrived already without any hopes of seeing her again, it was only because of this letter.
From Maria Leopoldina.
Yes, her last letter. A letter that she dictated surely few hours or few days before she died.
A letter full of love, full of tenderness.
How do you know?
I was the one who wrote it. Wrote it as if I were the one dying. She dictated it to me word by word, sob by sob.
Angelica, you never told me about that letter.
It was a mother's letter. A true mother to a son. Only he adopted son or I, someone frustrated of being a mother for some 10 years. Only we can understand it.
It's a soldier going to war. It's night. They're going to war.
Scene 4. Scene 5.
And to think that these 7 days, Mother and I have been here, always here, day and night.
Forget it, Mato. You should not think about it anymore.
It's not just me, it's Mother too. Did you see what just happened? An attack. The beginning of an attack. The first signs of agony, long or short, only God knows.
And my presence here, at this time today, tonight at this moment, may you forgive me. May you all forgive me.
I know. Father always worried that you might arrive at a time like this. He knows too well how proud and firm you are.
You two accuse me, Matu.
I don't accuse you, Bosnu. I admire you.
We're both young. We're both wholesome. And so we're worthy of being admired.
And also perhaps Father's old, tired, shaken, without trust. He claims that everything smells of gunpowder. The air, the very air. Do you know? I would like to stay. To stay here till the end. To stay. Understand?
Yes, I see that, Matu. I can see that on your face. Your lovely and still timid face that can transform apprehension and fear. And I'm glad it is so. During all these years, whenever I came to spend a part of my vacation, you were never there. It was all planned, all deliberate. And it seems that your father very much appreciated these missed meetings. But after a point, it came to be inhuman. My presence in this house for years now has turned to be less and less convenient for your father. Had he wished, I might have perhaps... No.
Say it! Say it!
Had he wished, I might have perhaps been able to be present during her last moments. But he did not want that. But never mind. I've gained the joy of seeing you, Matu. Of seeing you stay. Tomorrow, we will go and place flowers on her grave. Flowers. Cheerful flowers. Flowers picked from the garden that she herself tended every day. Yes, you should help me, Matu. We too will go and collect flowers. Many, many flowers for her grave.
Scene 6.
Salva, betrayed by my own. I could never imagine that possible. But that's what betrayal is. It's funny. One is only betrayed by one's own. The face of the enemy is much more truthful than...
Be calm, Sarojini. Be calm. You're raving.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Listen. I hear. How well I hear. The boots on the cement don't make the same noise anymore. It's as if they are worn out. Poor man. It's as if they are headed far away. And they are still here. Even you, Angelica. Even you. That letter, the letter you hid.
But Sarojini, it was a letter of a dying
I know the excuse. The letter of a dying person. The last request. The confession. One refuses a dying person nothing except death, even if he doesn't wish it. Now I understand. All your anxiety, the time of waiting avidly, the sighs, the impatience as you awaited this family renegade. Yes, the renegade. Ungrateful for all that you did for him. He had a home, a name, the name to which he had only half a right.
What did you say? The name? What do you mean?
That's right. We could never learn who the father was.
But Sarojini, there are so many children like this. And the mother? Do you know who she is? Scoundrel! Scoundrel 1,000 times! Even today you did not mind calling him a Posco in Matu's presence. I never thought your father
he's going to do next. Denounce me? Yes!
Salazino, the devil of fear has possessed you. You don't know what you're saying. Posto is incapable. He came on the account of Mana Leopoldina.
He came to witness my destruction. He, the illegitimate son, turned into legitimate heir. He has come to take revenge on me. To take revenge is because his father's name is anonymous. To take revenge for all that he read in that letter. Mana Leopoldina also betrayed me. Always. And at the hour of death. And she promised.
But the letter said nothing of all that. Related nothing, revealed nothing, no secrets at all.
It was a letter from a real mother to her son. You said so yourself. A letter only he could understand. Only he and you. A woman frustrated during some 10 years for not being a mother. Angel, call for a priest. No. Whom I am going to confess to? Saiba! What happened to the soldiers who went to defend us?
It's the soldiers.
Do you want to know, Angel? Do you want to know why you waited for 10 years for your daughter? Yes. Do you want?
Scene 7.
There were 14 years of hope that many of us had gathered. Hope and disillusionment. And that many more years of indifference and lethargy. It is only one who has not lived away from here cannot imagine the meaning of suffering in silence and the humiliation of forced obedience. It's like, how shall I say, it's like what deep down an adopted child feels. Yes.
And are you certain about the future?
There are no certainties in this life. What I know, and what you are old enough to know, is that the present is wrong, and the wrong of the past come from afar. To look at the past and to try to uncover it, to understand it, is fascinating, but dangerous. It allows us the opportunity to lose ourselves among ghosts, but it also allows us the door to the present irresponsibility for us all.
I understand.
An adopted child knows that he has a father and a mother, though he has not seen them. Each one of us must be by ourselves and meditate on our own destiny. An adopted child can only find the features of his parents in the image of his own eyes.
Bostu, and all these years with such few and short visits to us, did you not long to see us? This land, this house, dear Leopoldina?
I did. Yes, I did. But it was a longing filled with impatience for a time when I would arrive to find you free of all compassion and fear of wounding me. I too, independent, free of all gratitude, would then be able to offer you my friendship and my love. And then leave, go back, after having shared bread and light in this house.
Like today?
Almost. This time of separation in this land has helped me understand many things. It's like touching that knot, that deep, slippery knot of the roots of our faith. I'm sorry to tell you all these things, Mathu. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. But coming of age is a painful experience, at times cruel.
But I'm not 18 yet. I'm still under the guardianship of my parents. But I would have liked to go with you. At that moment when she died, I was thinking not of her, but of you. Now I know with you by my side that I did not believe in all those preparations of collective courage and fear, the hallowing of a threat that pits people one against the other. But I'm afraid no one would like to see this land destroyed. No one would like to see the bridges knocked down or the fields burned.
This land will not be destroyed, Mathu. Listen.
I can hear your heartbeat.
Yes. It's the beating of our hearts.
Rosenda, a priest, a doctor, Bab Salu Sanwar, quick, a priest.
Scene 8.
Do you remember, Anjali? Do you remember the day how Mathu played the part of Veronica and sang Ecce Homo at the procession on Holy Thursday? Remember?
I remember. Yes. I remember how my pride as a mother was clouded by that image of suffering. My daughter's voice, and in her hands the white linen cloth that unfolded the face of Jesus stamped in blood.
Veronica's hands managed to wipe the sweat of blood from the face of a mortal. I cannot hear the pounding of the boots anymore. They must have reached the end of their journey. Like me, with few words left to me, I will tell you, Anjali, why you have to wait for 10 years for your daughter. 3 years before our marriage, Mana Leopoldina went to Miraj to have an operation. I accompanied her. A year later, she went back to the same hospital to have a child, illegitimate son. This time, I did not accompany her.
Poor Mana Leopoldina.
Poor, yes, poor. But that is where it starts, as it came to be your suffering and my humiliation. An illegitimate son.
But why did she not marry?
Our religion did not allow. Fortunately, besides,
Poor Mana Leopoldina.
an illegitimate son, a scandal in the family.
Poor child.
I forbade it. She agreed. But the price we had to pay, who would have said who?
We would have to pay?
Yes, we too. When our marriage was being arranged, she laid down a condition for her permission that she would bring the son home and raise him like an adopted son.
But you have to understand, it was a mother's feeling, a legitimate desire.
I said no. An illegitimate son could never be adopted. I knew it. And since I was going to ensure the legitimate continuity of the family, I could not agree. I must not agree. But Mana Leopoldina, poor Mana Leopoldina of yours, did not hesitate to curse me. would have no descendants from our marriage. Yes, a marriage she would curse if I did not agree that her son would be raised among us. I remember her words, false words. Pooh! In return to the 2/3 of the usufruct she had legal right to of the family property, she challenged me. With only her happiness and our harmony in mind, I agreed. I agreed that the child would come to this house a year after our marriage. But do you think she thanked me? No! She only asked if I would like to have children. If I liked children, I said I was indifferent to it. Then she smiled for a second, long second. Then she was serious and silent, cold and distant, as you remember her. Do you remember? Good that you remember. On the morning of our wedding, she came to see me and stared at my eyes reflected in the mirror. Her smile, a smile that even froze my voice. I remember it as if it were today. She handed me a folded sheet of paper. I remember now. It was a patch of quick line in the arm of stone. My fingers were trembling as I touched that paper. It was a gift that she was giving me on my wedding day. Half of the property that belonged to her, it was those lands that nearly barren in Capen, which actually came to enrich the family inheritance. What did I want that for?
Yes, it is my wedding gift. You cannot calculate its worth. Looking at those lands, one would say they have nothing to their credit except their size. But here I have a document signed which assures us about its underground wealth. Mine own Manusalu, iron, many means, few meters from the surface. Within few years, you will be very rich. And thanks to the wealth of these lands, your power will match that of the most powerful among us.
I was astonished. To confess, I was terrified. Till where would that curse go? In return to the fecundity of a barren land, she said, I propose your sterility. Yes, Manusalu, you will have no children, or otherwise our adopted son will be in the next 20 years richer than you could ever imagine, and his stature will cloud your sight to the end of your days. That will be the only prize for my humiliation.
To raise a son who is mine, as if he was stranger.
Enough! I can't take it anymore.
Listen to the end. It's my last wish.
I can't take it anymore.
Listen. It's my last request. I had the most torturous recollection of my life. It's my last recollection.
Salu!
I cheated her for 10 years. And I was mistaken for 10 years. The hunger of my kisses and tremor of my arms were false as I embraced her. It was only the fear of betraying myself before her gentle body and so shy, so anxious. Let me speak to you for the last time, Angelica. Let me speak. How many times did you not suppose? How many times? How many? Did you not suppose that Love had been consummated on that bed where joy was never possible and sadness was even docile. I cheated for 10 consecutive years. And I cheated myself for 10 consecutive years. And for 10 consecutive years, gods and demons pursued me. Until I could see them on my skin, on my breath. It was only your dedication to her son, your tenderness, the love that he awakened in you like a treacherous fire. That is what saved you. Perhaps afraid that you might come to own her son. Who knows? She lifted the ban. Everything had been different, Angelica. Everything would have been different. If only I had been able to beget a son for her. But now!
I remember. Yes, I remember that time Martha began to grow inside me.
Light the lamps. Oh, open the windows. What do I hear? Saiba. What happened to the soldiers who should have been here at this hour saving us? Get rid of that damn jam! What do I hear? Is it a dream or only a curse? These damn voices. Who would sing at a time like this? These are the voices of our children, of this land, begging the heavens for some rain. Light the lamps. Open the windows. Is it the others who are coming or the same who are going? Help! Help!
Scene 9.
Devato foods, Swargasan, Sorcerer Thine.
It's my time to leave. From the bottom of your heart, Matu, do not allow this land to be destroyed. I will come back tomorrow morning to collect flowers.
To collect flowers. Here, Leopoldina's grave. From the bottom of my heart, Bosu, from the bottom of my heart, I will not allow this land to be destroyed.
Scene 10.
Help me. Help me. Matu, I'm dying. Who will help me? Angelica. What do I hear? If it is death, close my ears. Close them.
What you hear are the voices of what you deserve. Yes, to die is also to hear. Sending you back to hear for the last time what one could but did not hear.
To hear from far away, farther and farther away, this land that will eat me up.
The land where we were born.
I would like to promise me, Angel. I would like to be burnt after death.
I will not die on the same fire. I will not give up my body to the scented flames. My love for you has ended.
You don't forgive, Angel. You do not forgive, Angel. My confession is not worthy of your forgiveness, Angelique.
Forgive? Yes, nothing is less difficult to a mother than to forgive. To forget? No.
Amen. Is it? Isn't it the bridges that are crashed now? And the roads that are exploding? It means Saiba. And the prayers of the children did not reach the ears of the heaven. I would like to see the lowering and hoisting of the flags.
It is the hour of surrender. For those who go, for those who come, for those who stay.
It is the hour of death.
Only for those who die, not for those who live. Matu's eyes are shining with a light I'm seeing for the first time. From the window on the side, she throws bits of white cloth to the raised hands of the soldiers who go back. White cloth from our trousseau, waving to them with pride, with no contempt for their hour of surrender.
It is the hour of servitude. There will be pardon for the soldiers, pardon for the generals. Saiba, may there also be pardon for me. Matu, may it be your hands that give me the last rites. Wipe my face, my daughter. But that evening, the shroud was stained with blood. As you wiped with the blood, that the face of the mortal was sweating.
My hands tremble as they did that time.
Throw them away. These kerchiefs, these towels, all of them, out of the window, into the hands of the soldiers who file past at the hour of my death.
It is the hour of surrender, the hour of the final servitude. You can only see white cloth fluttering in the air like dying birds, transported by the winds of the night.
I feel, I hear I'm going to die now.
He said he would be back in the morning to pick flowers.
Angelique,
I'm here.
who will attend my funeral?
No one. I'm afraid you may have no other people attending beyond the pallbearers.
And my coffin?
I will order the best coffin for you. A coffin of Pau Santu. But I'm afraid you may have no other coffin besides that linen bedsheet.
This bedsheet?
Yes. You will have no flags to cover your body. You will leave this house with no flowers, no wreaths.
And the grave?
The grave digger. I think he will not mind digging the same spot he dug last week.
The same spot?
Yes, the family plot. You will be next to your sister. To the right, I believe. From what I heard our daughter say, when you arrive, there will be flowers there. Many flowers, all the flowers from our garden. And in the meanwhile, you will leave this house with no flowers, no wreaths.
We now sing for you a song inspired by our faith, about the land, for the land. The green fields are sorely loved. Sing to me from far away, from the treetops high above. Birds do have so much to
to introduce the cast. Mother, Sanika Verleca, BA Portuguese second year. Daughter, Candice Sequeira, MA English Part 1. Father, Kiran Bandari, of the Mustard Seed Art Company. Rosenda Krutika Gavas, MA English Part 1. Bostu, Professor Anthony Gomes, Discipline of French. Chorus, Nishruti Malgankar, MA English Part 1. Tanishri Rai, BA Portuguese second year. Gulnaz Casilda, BA Portuguese second year. The Portuguese Army of the English MA Part 2. Archana Shekhar, Shanali George, Simran Monteiro, Simran Parotka. The Indian Army MA English Part 2. Grace De Mello, Kessia Desai, Leanne Fernandez, Naz Sanadi, Prasidi Kurjuveka, Purva Ayare, Sneha Borkar, Veda Gauri. The song Whisper of the Land was written and composed by Candice Sequeira in collaboration with Joanne De Silva on the keyboard. Sound, we are grateful to Stephen Fernandez, Friends Audio. Videography, Shalini Rebello, MA, English, Part 1. We would not have been able to perform this play were it not for the assistance that we got from a whole lot of people. The organizing committee was hugely helpful. Professor Dhruv Usgankar and Professor Rochelle Fernandez. The production team was led by Professor Anthony Gomes. The direction team was comprised of Professor Runa Menezes, Discipline of English, Kiran Bandari of the Mustard Seed Art Company, and yours truly, Isabel Vaz of the Mustard Seed Art. Our sincere thanks to the Shenoy Goimbach School of Languages and Literature. We thank the Dean, Professor Anuradha Bagre, for his support and encouragement. And thank you, Vice Chancellor Sir. We are proud of our university. It has been a great experience for all of us to work together. Thank you, friends. As we say in theatre lingo, break a leg. Thank you.
Thank you all for being such a patient and receptive audience. In fact, as a little special side, it's my honor to invite Professor Rosa Maria Perez, who knew Orlando da Costa personally. So we'd love her to give us her thoughts on the play and, of course, the visionary behind this wonderful play.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Congratulations for this wonderful play. Well, in fact, I had the privilege of being a very close friend of Mr. Orlando Costa, even though he was older than I, but in these situations, age doesn't count. We used to meet every 2 weeks for lunch in a small restaurant nearby our houses, that were close by. The house, this restaurant that was called Pipoca, a very unpoetic name, which means in Portuguese popcorn, and immediately he baptized it as Casa Amarela, the Yellow House. So we would meet at the Yellow House, and we will talk more than eating. We will talk and of many, many, many things. And of course, Goa was always in his art, as it was in mine. And he would tell many, many stories about Goa. He didn't want to pass away before coming to Goa for his last monsoon. Unfortunately, he could not. I came on his behalf, which of course was not the same. We both loved opera and literature. He was an amazing reader, a very, very cultivated person. He would suggest me the best version of a certain opera, and also, of course, many novels that I didn't know, not Portuguese, but in different languages, and I would suggest him a few. And we would meet in different occasions. Sometimes we would have him at home with his wife, wife. He was very much in love with his grandchildren, and he was so different from any grandfather that I do not resist to tell you a small story. Sometimes he would go to his one of his granddaughters' school to pick her up, and he would bring a rose, a red rose. In the beginning, being a child, she would be shy having the grandfather with a rose. The other children would laugh. But as time passed by, she would miss the rose when he would appear without that rose in order not to make her feel shy. So there were many, many little stories that I could tell you about, not about our friendship, but about him. But most of all, he was an amazing human being. He was, of course, a great writer. I had the privilege of launching his last novel, O Último Olhar de Manu Miranda, and it's about Goa. I don't know that any of you have read it in Portuguese, in the Portuguese version. I would love to have it in English so that those of you who cannot read Portuguese could read. Indeed, it was his favorite novel. A couple of years ago, there was a celebration of his 90th birthday. So some of his books that were out of print were reprinted, namely O Signo de Ira, which has been translated 6 years ago and given to his son, Mr. António Costa, was then the Prime Minister of Portugal, now the European Commissioner, as you know. But unfortunately, O Último Olhar de Manu Miranda, which is a kind of more than a portrait, is like being in Goa, like entering in a living room and getting to know a family, has not been reprinted or translated. So I hope that that will happen as soon as possible, because, as I said, it was his favorite novel, and it tells a lot about his feelings towards Goa. As some of you would know, used to come in the last years of his life before falling sick. He would come to Goa. He would love to stay in Panjim at Hotel Nova Goa with his friend, Mr. Aldut Kamat, is no longer with us. and then he'd go to Margão to stay with his brother, João Costa. I know that many of you have met him. I've learned a lot with him, of course. I used to call him Guru, my Guruji, and he used to call me Ischela, even though none of us spoke Hindi, of course. And in many ways, in many respects, he was a guru to me, in the true sense of the term. It was not only about telling me about literature or about music or about painting. He loved art, and you would not miss an exhibition in Lisbon. You'd go, perhaps not to the lounge of a certain exhibition painter, but you'd go for sure to attend every possible exhibition. But he taught me so much about life, about people, about human beings, about friendship, about connecting to people. He always would want me to tell him on my return from India, from my trips to India, either from Gujarat or from Goa, to tell him my stories. I would rather wanted to listen to his stories. So our friendship was in a way an exchange of experiences, but most of all, for me, it was a lesson of life and a lesson for life. He was a very, very honest person. He was beyond honesty indeed. Very discreet, very elegant, always very, very, very elegant. Even when he felt sick, he didn't even want to go out because he felt he was not elegant as he should be. But he had this passion for life, for nature. We used to walk in the garden nearby my house and his house, which, as I said, was nearby mine. We used to walk. I had some favorite trees. He had some favorite trees. Sometimes we would dispute our trees in a very good way, of course. Long walks, and he would talk a lot. When it was raining, he would talk about the monsoon, and the monsoon for him was crucial, was essential. The smell of the rain falling down in Lisbon would remind him the smell of the monsoon in Goa, and Goa was always in his heart, always. He had always something, some smell, some sound, some person would remind him of Goa. So it's very emotional for me tonight to listen to this, to have listened to this play, and in a way or another to feel him nearby, and to imagine how you would like to be here and see this performance so full of love and commitment. But yes, I'd like to tell you how much he loved Goa more than anything. Well, Goa and his friends from Goa, and how Goa was always in his heart. I wouldn't dare to say until the last moment, but he absolutely want to come to see the last monsoon. So when he passed away, I was asked to write an in memoriam, and I wrote something which I called the Prince of the Monsoon. And he was a prince indeed, so I had that privilege of knowing that Prince, António Costa, who was a great writer, but was above all a great human being, with whom I learned so much. that I will never be, I mean, thanking him will never be enough. So, I think that's all.